LNG Project landowners petition government over equity. Parliamentary hearing grills lawyers and banks. And Chief Secretary lays down law for tax officers.
This is National MTV News with Helen Sayer.
Good evening and thank you for joining me for Wednesday's news. Papua New Guinea's first LNG project has once again come into the spotlight, with its landowners petitioning the national government over their proposed direct equity in the PNG LNG project. At a gathering today, landowners representing the different sections of the project signed a petition calling for, among other things, a more direct role in sourcing funding for their direct stake in the project. They say a decision by the national government to specifically authorize Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited to act on their behalf has been unfair, as the proposed terms put forward by KPHL are unrealistic.
Landowners representing the greenfields, plant and pipeline sections of the PNG LNG project gathered for a forum, particularly in relation to their proposed direct equity uptake in the PNG LNG project. Under the Umbrella Benefit Sharing Agreement signed in 2009, the landowners would have to exercise their right in buying into the project, which would see them have direct equity of 4.27%. The national government has put forward a deadline of 31st December 2016 as the date by which landowners must buy into the project. But this has not gone down well with landowners, with claims that the proposed acquisition deal being touted by Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited is overpriced. KPHL had put the figure of acquiring direct equity in the project at $1.1 billion. This is now being contested, with landowners demanding for immediate action from the national government to intervene in this matter. A petition put forward by the landowners now calls on the national government to respond favorably to their demands. The 14-point petition calls for, among others, the national government to rescind the decision to specifically authorize KPHL to act on behalf of landowners to source funding for the beneficiary group in regards to the 4.27% equity in the PNG LNG project, and to keep the window of acquisition opened indefinitely beyond December 31st, so as to allow the beneficiary group to acquire the direct equity following a due diligence exercise. This move by the beneficiary group comes at a time when the resource sector in the country is preparing for the annual PNG Mining and Petroleum Investment Conference. Meribatulo, National MTV News.
The Waigani National Court found 2 senior government officers of Beck district in Enga province guilty of misappropriation charges. Esther Ere and Josiah Nathan, both from Beck, were found to have misappropriated the district's DSIP funds of more than 4 million kina.
Accused Esther Ere and Josiah Nathan appeared before Deputy Chief Justice Gib Salika this morning at the Waigani National Court. They were charged under Section 381A of the Criminal Code for 1 count of misappropriation charges, including a sum close to 4.5 million kina money belonging to Beck district's DSIP. The court added accused Esther Ere was the district's treasurer at the time when she conspired with Josiah Nathan, a civil engineer with the Beck's Works Department, and withdrew the money from the district's trust account. The money was withdrawn on the basis of road maintenance works within the electorate. On March 31, 2012, they were arrested and charged by police. Deputy Chief Justice Gib Salika, after going through the evidences presented against the accused, ruled that the money was not used for road maintenance. Instead, it was used for personal means. The matter will return on December 5th, giving time for their lawyers to make submissions before the penalties are imposed by the court. Eric Arupma, National MTV News.
A special parliamentary committee on public sector reform and service delivery had its first hearing today into the workings of the law fraternity in the country. The hearing aims to find out reasons behind the lack of progress on investigations into the allegations raised by an SBS report last year, wherein lawyers Greg Shepherd and Harvey Maladina were implicated in participating in money laundering through their practice. The hearing started this morning and heard from the Law Society, Law Statutory Committee, audit firm KPMG and BSP and ANZ Bank representatives.
The hearing began with a letter from the Law Society President, Peter Kuman. It questioned the jurisdiction of the Special Parliamentary Committee over the Society and its activities.
The reason is that neither body is part of the public sector in our view, with greatest respect, Chairman, and neither body provides a public service as that term is understood according to law.
We think that it is important as long as all the sectors are established according to the law of our country, and it is important that the Parliamentary Committee has the right to come in from time to time when and as required to ask views, and find out the issues. If there are issues, we need to find out what is happening.
The hearing proceeded with the Law Society answering a list of 9 questions, all relating to lawyers' trust accounts and the Society's role in ensuring audit processes are upheld. President Peter Kuman answered mostly with this answer.
The answer is yes. However, the Society is not able to comment on individual cases.
3 of the 9 questions were not answered because the question related to laws that were either not operational or had been repealed. All these questions led up to the implications on Greg Shepherd and Harvey Maladina.
Maladina case, or the issue, the Society publicly indicated that it would institute an audit of the lawyer's trust account. Despite the committee's prompting, it appears that the Society abandoned any action to audit the account. Is this correct? And why was the undertaking subsequently abandoned?
The Law Society is not able to comment on individual pending or current inquiries or investigations before the Statutory Committee.
Law Statutory Committee Chairman Vincent Mirupasi pointed out that this voluntary body lacks financial capacity to effectively deal with the large amount of cases that it has. The Shepherd-Maladina issue was lodged by the Law Society with the Statutory Committee, but they are yet to deal with it.
To the committee, it's just another complaint. To the public, it may be a very interesting matter, and they want to know what's happening to it. I agree. But as far as the committee is concerned, we have this, we have another 707 matters before that matter. We have to deal with those matters first.
You will not have a case management capacity where you can prioritize which matters need to be heard or prioritized and others need to be investigated at a later date, etc. For example, so this matter is going to take a position in the queue.
I don't think we should say we don't have the capacity. We got eager lawyers there that are interested, concerned about their profession. That's our life, and that's their life. They want to protect it. They want to keep it clean, and they want to make sure that the profession is running well, competently, professionally, and this is everybody's responsibility, all the lawyers' responsibility. So we want to do the job. But if you are, from the way you come in, we need funding. Give us some money, and we will continue this job.
Sarah Aupong, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Chief Secretary to Government Isaac Lupari today addressed the staff of the Internal Revenue Commission in Port Moresby. Again, he emphasized the need for a change in attitude towards work, particularly for public servants. The IRC is the 6th government body the Chief Secretary has visited since taking office.
Almost all staff of the IRC turned out at the Tarama Aquatic Center, where Chief Secretary to Government Isaac Lupari gave his address. It's part of his aim to visit and talk to all public servants and promote the concept of teamwork. But his main focus was encouraging a change of attitude towards work, saying it's a major obstacle to development and service delivery in the country. Ambassador Lupari said 2017 is going to be a challenging year. With the total revenue and grants for the 2017 budget projected at about 11 billion kina, Lupari said 9 billion kina of that revenue has to be collected by the IRC. Ambassador Lupari said the IRC has a 2 billion kina tax liability each year. He said it's money that could be used to settle some of the country's debts. Mr. Lupari said when it comes to tax, officers of IRC must do their job because failure to do so means denying services to the people. IRC Commissioner General Betty Palazzo also told staff that how the IRC performs has a direct impact on the country and the people. It affects the government's budget, affects national plans, and trickles down to the basic service delivery to ordinary Papua New Guineans. Mr. Lupari said 4 billion kina is spent on the salaries and wages of public servants each year. That's 7% of the national budget. He said it was the responsibility of public servants to ensure the taxpayers of PNG get the value for their investments. Deli Waigeno, National, EMTV News.
Police Commissioner Gary Baki will officiate at a groundbreaking ceremony of a new police accommodation in East New Britain Province tomorrow. The Police Commissioner is also expected to visit various parts of the province, including a remote mobile squad base along the New Britain Highway and a proposed location for a new police training academy at Makurapau on the outskirts of Kokopo Town. Acting Provincial Police Commander Senior Inspector Joseph Tabali said the Commissioner will also be given a walkthrough at the Kokopo Police Barracks, which has been left run down for many years. The facelift for police accommodation comes at a time when Kokopo is changing from a town into a city and its police manpower needs to be strengthened. After 30 years of tribal warfare between the people of Pinapasa and Kaimanda in the Mulbai-Lumusa electorate of Western Highlands, peace was restored. Last Saturday, a peace ceremony called the Poma Reconciliation Ceremony was held to symbolize peace. The Baptist Union Church and Mulbai-Lumusa MP Koitrape facilitated the peace gathering.
Over 40 pigs were killed to symbolize peace between the tribal groups. Mulbai-Lumusa MP Koitrape also gave over 800,000 kina for a rehabilitation program in that area. Schools, aid posts and clinics, churches and houses were razed due to the tribal fight. The money given will be used to build new community infrastructure.
Plenty work will change work will come. So work from people and long look at them all the beginning shall school.
Tribal warfare is a thing of the past, especially in the highlands of Papua New Guinea, where they fight to keep their land and women and to be superior among others. After Christianity and law and order were introduced in the late 40s and 50s, tribal fight slowly faded. It eventually stopped in the 90s and 20th century. However, for these people of Pinapasa, Poma and Kaimanda who live at the back of Lumusa, bordering Enga province, they still fight.
Now it's for a big change, transformation, confession, and we come out and something God and we make it.
The fight started in 1981 and ended in 2013. They often go to war after 10 years until on Saturday when they promised not to fight but embrace changes and developments.
Road must come up or something must come. Development come
Because of tribal war, the Pinabasa and Kaimanda people have no roads and they use bush tracks. After the tribal war ended, the first development they saw was road infrastructure. It was yet to be sealed, and when it rains, it can take you up to 8 hours to travel to Mount Hagen City. Basenata Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
And now looking at our finance news, the kina closed unchanged at $0.3155 US in the interbank markets. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.3080 US, $0.4052 Australian dollars, $0.2848 euro and 33.3 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold closed higher, while coffee, cocoa and copra closed the day lower. Palm oil closed lower, while crude oil and copper all closed the day higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 54.37 points higher, the ASX is trading at 1.5 points higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading at 0.17 points lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. Head of Safety and Search Operations for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, Ben Pisoro, says safety will be maintained throughout the challenge. Commander Pisoro said the joint forces will not take things lightly despite the low-level threat. This morning, searches were carried out at Bava Stadium and the Sir John Guy Stadium prior to this afternoon's matches.
This morning's safety search began around 6 a.m. at two different venues. Members of the police force, defense and correctional service with assistance from the Australian Federal Police took part in the search. No major threats were identified, however concerns were raised over properties left behind by the public.
Even though we don't find anything suspicious, our main task is to make sure the place is safe, know anything that is harmful to the public or the general players. So the place is secure for everyone to involve in the game, and also as an audience, they can come in freely.
This safety and security search operation is a measure in place to see the smooth flow of the World Cup challenge between countries taking part, game organizers and the public.
We are coming early in the morning to make sure the venue is cleared, and when the venue is cleared, we hand it over to the venue commanders to ensure there is no unsuspected items.
About 50 officers are taking part in the safety search, which began last month. The operation will see all game venues searched prior to and after matches are played.
And every morning we are doing 2 to 3 searches, of which another team is here, another team at the Bawa Park, and then we close up, come do a debriefing, and we move, and the next day we can come back to do the search again as well.
With the games picking up momentum, Commander Pisoro called on local fans to play their part as host country.
The public must support, respect the players, the game itself, respect the policemen, women, security officers, volunteers who are working to make sure the place is safe and secure. And
the operation will continue until the final game is played. Jack Lapava Jr., National EMTV News.
Chukai Sports is next. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. PNG will take on Sweden at 7 p.m. tonight. Stay tuned for that match right after the news. We cross over now to Jeremy for the latest on the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup.
Thank you, Helen. The results for PNG are yet to come. These were the words from coach Lisa Cole ahead of tonight's crucial match against Sweden. The home side was heavily criticized after their 9-0 drubbing at the hands of Brazil, but coach Lisa Cole is adamant the team can only improve moving forward.
the pressure is actually on them, right? So we had a lot of pressure going into the opening match to represent the country well, but the pressure's on Sweden now. They need a win to keep their World Cup dreams alive, and we're going to go after them and see what happens and give our best again from start to finish. And for me, you know this already, I've said this from day one, I've said this since February, this is a learning experience for this group. And what we get out of this World Cup is the results will not be in this World Cup. The results will come in the next 2 years, next 4 years for Papua New Guinea.
Before arriving in Papua New Guinea, New Zealand trio Taylor Christensen, Elizabeth Anton and Michaela Moore did not expect to have fans in Papua New Guinea. Surprisingly, upon their arrival at the Jacksons International Airport last week, they walked out of the terminal to a thrilling crowd of supporters.
The three who previously represented New Zealand in the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup Costa Rica said they find PNG very welcoming, and the love of football is evident as even small children were present at the airport during their arrival. Meet 19-year-old New Zealand forward Taylor Christensen, who is making her second appearance on the world stage.
Around the goalkeeper, and Christensen scores!
It's so good. The culture here is so lovely and everyone's so smiley when we drive past on the buses. It's a real cool environment for the girls. We're all loving it. Yeah, it was so cool. We got off the plane and we heard that there was lots of people, but we didn't realise how much support there was. So we got a chance to get off the bus and see all the girls there. So that was a really cool opportunity.
20-year-old captain and forward Michaela Moore, who juggles university studies and football.
It's a huge honour for me. I've always loved playing football ever since I was 4 years old. That's sort of where I started at a young age. So to be able to pull on the shirt with the silver fern is a big dream of mine that I've had since I was a little kid. So yeah, it's a huge honour for me. I'm very honoured.
Another dynamic presence in the New Zealand team is Elizabeth Anton. A 17-year-old centre-back who has just finished high school and making this World Cup her second appearance as well on the world stage.
Well, I started representing New Zealand. I was in the last Under-17s cycle in 2014, and so I went to Costa Rica and we had just our pool games. That was a really cool experience, but yeah, I was about 15 then.
In recognition of the love and interest many youngsters in Papua New Guinea have of football, the trio had this to say.
You've just got to give it a go. If you enjoy something, just always follow what you want to do and don't let anyone tell you that you can't do anything. Never give up on any dream, in fact. Like, if you have a dream for anything, just to work really hard and never give up pretty much. Anything is possible.
Give it your all. Like, it's just a game. Like, go and enjoy it, have fun, and just try and do your best, and that's all you can ask.
Thank you.
All the best in your next game.
Dina Rose Raiko, National EMTV Sports.
And in results from the matches earlier this afternoon, it is Spain defeating Japan by 1-0 and Korea DPR thrashing Brazil by 4-2. That's it from me. It's back to Helen for more Trukai Sport action.
Thank you, Jeremy. Following their loss to Hong Kong, the Puk-Puks narrowed the gap in the scoreline against Russia. Details after the break.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. To Rugby Union, the PNG Puk-Puks have bounced back from their big loss against Hong Kong, surprising World Cup qualifying nation Russia. Puk-Puks captain Tisa Kautu was incredible on the boot, kicking 3 successful penalties, while Stanis Susuve and Richard Aitzi scored the only 2 tries for PNG. Lorraine Genia with the match highlights.
Russia dominated possession in the opening minutes of the first half, with captain Viktor Gresev scoring the first of his hat-trick tries. It was just minutes till Gresev scored his second, as PNG was penalised for repeated infringements at the ruck. At 20 minutes, the Russians led 21-0, placing immense pressure on the Puk-Puks to better their performance to avoid an embarrassing loss, much the same against Hong Kong.
On the job. Roll away.
Puk-Puk's leading try scorer and captain Tisa Kautu picked up off an intercept, making way for Stanis Susuve to score PNG's first try. but an unsuccessful conversion by fullback John Kent placed PNG behind 3-1. A striking Russian attack saw 2 more tries in the opening half as defending champions secured a bonus point only 20 minutes into the first half. And scrum half Anton Ryabov crossed over for a try in the 26th minute, and just minutes later, another 5 points were conceded as Russia's hooker scored the 5th try. Pukpuk's captain Tisakatu later added the final 3 points of the first half for PNG with a penalty shortly before halftime as Russia took a comfortable lead 35-8 leading into the break. In the second half, Russia were less convincing while Papua New Guinea got off to a flying start, scoring 11 unanswered points from 2 penalties by Kautu and a try to fly half Richard Aitzi to close the gap to 49-19 by full time. Lorraine Genia, National EMTV Sports, Hong Kong. And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather details after the break.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. Worth doing with Dulux. The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. Worth doing with Dulux.
Looking at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. In the southern region, fine although cloudy at times in Port Moresby, and fine weather in Daru, Kerema, Alotau and Popondetta. In the Momase region, fine in Leh, a shower or 2 in Medang, Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, fine in Lorengau, a shower or 2 in Kavieng, Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka. And in the Highlands region, fine in all centres.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. Worth doing with Dulux.
And that's the way it is this Wednesday, the 16th of November. Coming up next, PNG takes on Sweden in World Cup football. From the news team, thank you for your company. Good night.